Man United just do not make anything easy at all. I swear to God, the amount of anxiety I've gained over these last few years watching Man United, I'm not even just saying that as a hyperbole. Genuinely, it's just anxious watching this football club 1-0 up, dominant in that first half. Should have been 5. Maybe not 5. It should have been more than 1, though. Second half, we leave space in the game. They come back in. 1-1. 2-1 from Mbeumo. First goal, never mind 2-2. How about we wait until the last bloody minute? Bruno scores a penalty. United win 3-2. It's the first win of the season. It's a big win for us, and especially going into the international break. We needed that. But look, that photo there is the most appropriate photo I think I've seen of Amorim. He's just sitting there thinking exactly what I've said there. Like, why do we make it so damn hard for ourselves? Why is it that you can create 26 chances in a game? Why does it need a last-minute penalty from Bruno, by the way? And big up to Bruno for doing that after the penalty last week. It was a massive pressure moment for him, and the captain delivered. But he's sitting there thinking, for the love of God, how is it that we didn't score more than 1 goal in that first half? And that's going to be my overriding feeling from that game. Because you know what really annoys me watching United is how we just can't win comfortably. Even when we do win, it's kind of like that. It's like you're cowering behind the back of your chair watching the game. That's what it feels like watching Manchester United play. Because in that first half, I'll be honest, that was definitely... I think it was it more of a foul on Mount for a penalty in the first half than it was on Ahmad towards the end? I'll be honest, I think both were. I actually thought... I don't know how the rules work these days, but I thought if the foul started outside the box, and that's where it was given, but it went in the box and we got a penalty, I'm complaining. But Amorim must be fuming at just how... the fact that we can't just put the chances away. The fact that we can't just make the games comfortable for ourselves. Now, why do you do it? Why do you need to wait until the last minute for a penalty? Sure, it's a buzz to get a last-minute winner, but gee, I tell you what, this team just needs to put their chances away, all right? They need to just put their chances away. In that first half, I'm trying to remember all the bloody chances we had. Ahmad had a couple. I thought Ahmad had a really good game, and I'll tell you who had a good game, man. Mbeumo. Really happy for him. Before I speak about Mbeumo, I want to say this. Please don't be a bad hamstring injury. I've really enjoyed, despite the fact that we've not been anywhere near as efficient as we should be in front of goal, I've enjoyed watching Cunha so far this season, and I don't want him to be missing. So in that sense, the international break is well timed for him. 2 weeks until the City game, away from home. You want him to play. Don't know whether he will be, but at least he walked off. So hopefully it might be only a grade 1 and a minor problem. But that was Bruno, sorry. And Mbeumo. And Ahmad, by the way. Both of them had really good games, but Mbeumo got his first goal. And it was a really good move from United. A good cutback. I don't even think Delo got his head up. I think he was just looking at the ball, but he just knew to cut it back. And Mbeumo made the run. Good finish. In that first half, that ball, I think it was a ball from Bruno over to Mbeumo. The lovely touch inside. Dubravka made a worldie save. He made quite a few good saves in that game, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm just happy that he's got his first goal in a United shirt. That'll be a big weight off his shoulders. And it's... I'm going to go back to it again. 26 shots in that game. And we needed a last bloody minute penalty. Look, in terms of Amorim and what that leads to in the international break, he's going to have conversations about his future. And he would have had conversations about his future even if we lost that game. Well, that's a stupid way to put it. He was always going to have conversations about his future during the international break, regardless of the result today. That's kind of what I mean. He'll be delighted that United won the game, but you can see from his emotion there, he's just a bit... he's a bit tired of it. And I'm a little bit tired of it. Like, I don't mean this in like a moaning horror. I suppose it just isn't fun watching Manchester United anymore. It's almost like the purgatory of football. Like we still are just... We're paying for our sins of enjoying United so much for like 15, 20 years. Watching United now, it's like... It's not through gritted teeth, but it's just like... It's just painful when it does not need to be. And that's going to be my biggest takeaway from that game. In the game against Arsenal, we deserved more, but we couldn't finish, all right? And we shouldn't have lost that game, but we did because we made a mistake. How can we say that? Isn't it nice to go through a game and there not be a massive goalkeeping error? We like that. But it's the fact that Burnley, was there a massive goalkeeping error? You could say that Bayern should have parried the second goal, or the ball that led to the second goal, better. Either way, Ruben's going to walk into that dressing room, I think ultimately be more frustrated than delighted. Like, you don't need to do that. It doesn't need to be that difficult. Why is it that you can't do it? Why is it that you can't do it? I think Ahmad, as I said, had his best performance so far this season at right wing back. I actually thought Casemiro was really good as well. In terms of how Kobbie played when he came on, I think United were a bit more open when he came on. But I think that wasn't just down to Kobbie. It was down to how we played in that second half. And I go back to this here. And it's not just about the shots that we had in that first half. But in the second half, we kind of stepped back a little bit. Burnley were allowed to play a lot more. They had far more time on the ball. We weren't creating anywhere near as many opportunities going forward. They got more comfortable and they got the goal as a consequence in the equaliser. Even after we went 2-1 up, we still left too much space compared to the first half. As I said, I think Casemiro actually played pretty damn well today. I thought Mount played well. You can see why Ruben likes him. You know what it kind of feels like to me? That it really genuinely feels like Ruben Amorim not was instructed to bring on Kobbie Mainoo in that game, but was sort of like had a conversation behind the scenes about that. If you go into, and this is all I've been asking for, right? Is give Kobbie minutes so that it becomes a competition and therefore there's no question marks about whether or not he's going to be included. But Bruno came up with the goods there today. I thought Bruno played very well. Not perfect, but United didn't play perfectly. But we got the all-important 3 points. And that's all we can really take. It's the first win of the season. It's the international break. If we went in off the back of not beating Burnley, off the back of the week that we lost to Grimsby, man, the noise just would have been insane. I don't really think that performance quietens too much down in terms of the fact that we had the same issues that we had against Arsenal. Like, the issue's not, and it's the same as last season, by the way. The issue is not really creating chances. It's finishing them. Seshko had a couple of headers towards the end of that game that he probably should have made more of. And I think just so much of that game did not need to be as difficult as it was. It didn't need to feel like heartburn. It should have been comfortable. It ended with victory, but that's the reason why Amorim was sat there frustrated at the end. He goes, well, we've won, but you didn't need to do that. And that's just something that we've still got to work on.